Chocolate City. Chocolate City. Yes, it's so, baby. Yes, it's so, mama, at Chocolate City.
Yes, y'all. What it do? Another edition of Outlaw Nation, Thursday night. Outlaw Nation 414 stand up. Milwaukee is active. It's your boy, your man, 50 grand Kevin Barnes, a militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. I got a little something for you tonight, man. Like I always say, I tell people I'm a real collaborative type of individual. So if you're from Milwaukee and you got something positive going on, something you want to promote, something you're trying to get through to the people, you can come on the show. We'll talk about it. So, and my guest tonight is that brother. Exactly. So yeah, man, welcome to the show. This is Outlaw Nation. It's not Outlaw Radio, which is a little bit topical, a little bit more pointed. This is the bullshit. This is Outlaw Nation. This is where whatever is whatever, right? Like this is where I'm all over the place, right? Like bird shit. So I want to welcome my guest to the show, man. My brother, tell these people who you are. I hope you can hear me.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Trav Too Funny, man. Comedian, actor, entertainer. Uh, just all around.
Okay. And so you are a comedian. You do stand up, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. Now, have you? Okay, so I know you do videos, right? And we talk about all of that. But now, have you been in any of these little slow? I don't want to call them low budget movies, but these hood movies that's being made in Milwaukee. Have you been able to tap into that a little bit?
Um, I have. I did. I did the Milwaukee Tales with
Okay.
this guy. He called himself Big Mike.
Right.
Um, it's aired on it's aired on YouTube. Um, let's see. Yeah, I did a couple things, man. I done did some, acting and stuff like that. So
Have you seen? What's the last one? The one that everybody was talking about. And shout out to Steve-O and that whole camp. And shout out to Baby Drew. Drew's a friend of the show. He's been on here a bunch of times. But this, what was it? Trust No One. I think that was the latest one, the one that was on Amazon. Did you see that? Did you see that?
yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Okay. And what'd you think about it?
Um, I liked it,
Okay.
but I feel like we should have. I don't know if it was a whole lot of people from Milwaukee in it, but I felt like it needed some more Milwaukee love in it.
Okay.
You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
because there was a lot of Milwaukee cats in the movie though. So like it was, and there was some dudes who probably would. I mean, I know the one brother who's in, because I watched the Detroit hood movies. I'm big on the Detroit hood movies.
Yeah.
So I know the one brother who's like one of the leads. He's one of the Detroit cats, but he's been over here. Him and the big dude who played Biggie. What's his name? Jamal.
Jamal Groby.
Right. So I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I just, I know. I don't know if a lot of people realize right now there's cats from Milwaukee who have movies, like Gigolo Jackson and T Dot and all those brothers. They got some movies, like some hood movies that they've been in. And I don't know if people have seen them. Like, we got to support our own. We got to work to do that. Artists, whatever, comedian, whoever.
Right.
But okay, so let's talk about comedy, right? Because I'm a big time stand-up comedy connoisseur, man, especially black comedy. My favorite type of comedy is usually social commentary, like a Dave Chappelle or a Chris Rock type thing. But it's all good, right? Like make the people laugh, whatever, what have you. Now, what got you interested in comedy originally?
Well, I'll say, I've been a fan of comedy my whole life. I always loved it because, like, so many people in my family is funny. They're not, so to say, they're not comedians, but they could be.
Right.
And it's just like, you know what? I love doing it. I like talking to people. I like making people laugh. So, why not?
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, the only reason I started doing comedy was because, well, at first it's a crazy story because at first I was doing music, but I love music, but not like how I love comedy because at the time I don't think comedy was really like popping like that, like in the '90s and like like '90s the 2000s era. It was like I say before they started doing the whole internet thing, it wasn't really popping like that. Like you couldn't really visually, like you couldn't see it.
Right, right.
You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So I didn't really take interest to it because, like I said, I was doing the whole music thing, and the only reason I was doing the music was for my cousin who passed away, from cancer. My
Right, right.
cousin Sharonda, uh,
Hmm.
Shishi, my auntie Nisi daughter.
Yes.
Um,
Rest in peace.
so yeah, so I started doing the music after she died because that's something that she wanted to pursue. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and see how far I could get with this.
Okay.
Because like I said, I always wanted to do the comedy thing, but I felt like it wasn't really popping. And um, I ain't gonna say it was a shy thing or nothing like that, but I considered myself to be funny, but I did not think other people would. You know what I mean? Until I said, you know what? Let me try it.
Right. Well, see, now it's two different things, and a lot of people think, and that's not because I want to talk about comedy. I want to talk about it like deeply, not just on the surface. A lot
Right.
of people believe they could do stand up. A lot of people feel like because if you funny, and they don't understand, it's a difference if you can say some funny shit sometimes, but to get up there and get that microphone and hold the whole a large crowd of people
Yeah.
attention and have them laugh is not an easy thing. And
No,
so
it's
that
not.
leads me to my next kind of thing, which we live in an age now where there's a new type of comedian, right? Which is the Instagram, your video. I'm about to show one of your videos, right in a second. But like,
Okay.
so older comics who are more traditionally trained, who came up, hard body karate in the comedy clubs, like you talking about in the 90s with that whole Def Comedy Jam explosion, right? Like, so we know that's when you start seeing black comics, Steve Harvey and all these cats getting TV shows and movies, and so the spotlight it shined on black comedians. So, but now you got like yourself, you got Ryan Davis. I watch Jeremiah Phillips. I watch Corporate. He's not a comedian, but what he does is, if you watch Corporate,
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
storytelling, Ha Ha Davis, all these, the whole damn near the whole cast of Wild 'N Out, like
Right. Right.
even Just Hilarious, who I think is funny as hell, but you
Right.
got comedians like, well, that's not real comedy, and like these dudes ain't real comedians. So how have you tried to pattern yourself? Did you try to say, no, I'm gonna go back and see what the old school had to do? I'm gonna do my time in comedy clubs, or you figure like I need to put my focus on making sure these videos is funny?
No, what I do is I, I ain't gonna say I mixed it, but like I said, um, like I'm a big fan of comedy. So
Okay.
you know what? The point I'm trying to make is some people can't do videos, like do the funny videos, then get on stage. Some people cannot do that. They're not made for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like me, like I'm made for it. I like doing the stand up, but the videos I do that to get it's like a backdoor to get into the acting, the whole acting thing. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Because that's what I'm trying to do is do the acting thing, get found, but like get picked up by like Tyler Perry or somebody with a big
Uh,
name show.
watch out, Tyler Perry.
Uh-oh, here we go.
We call Fugazi on Tyler Perry. No, I'm no, I'm fucking around. I'm talking shit. If you just tuned in to Outlaw Nation, I got my brother Travis Foster here. Trav Too Funny is his comedy name. And I've known this brother for a very long time. I've known him probably longer than he remember even knowing me, because I'm old as hell. But also I'm very his family. I got a lot of love for your family, man, the Davis family. It's so many y'all a name. If you grew up where I grew up at, and this we talking about 1-9. Shout out to 1-9. I seen all them cats before the show. It's funny because they are like, damn, we ain't seen Kev in years, right? And
Exactly.
I'm literally 15 minutes away from where I grew up at, if that far. But how shit happens. But shout out to the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was seeing your videos, and I was looking, and I'm like, wait, is that Ronnie? Yeah, that's RD little people, right? So I pull up this video. I'm about to play it right now. The shit made me laugh. And when some shit made me laugh out loud, I'd be like, nah, that was some funny shit. So I'm gonna try to pull this video up. I want to make sure I get the right one because I got a bunch of them.
All right.
Let me see. I think this the one.
This day and age, to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. We're gonna feel our house.
Oh man, that shit's funny. That shit make me laugh. And motherfuckers say, "Yeah, that's funny to me." So let's talk about that one, man. Because I think I seen somebody else do that kind of thing, but some of the shit you're just doing in the background, I'm like, dude, for real, like, talk about that, man.
Well, I was big on like sitcoms back in the day, and like we don't even have them no more. Where everybody used to like gather around the TV because it was TGI Friday. Everybody used to watch the Family Matters, the Full House. Like shows that used to come on Fridays, and I'm like, you know what? Let me try to put a remix on it and show people how it probably would have been if they was still out in the like 2021, 2020, 20s era. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? It might look something like this. You know what I'm saying?
And so that's like the Family Matters joint from the show, like you said, TGI Fridays,
Right.
TGIF Fridays, or TGI Fridays is a restaurant. Like,
Yeah.
But no, shout out to TR Arthur. How you doing, sis? Yeah, man. So I thought the shit was funny. So I'm like, dude, that's creative. How to mix that kind of shit. But you have some other kinds of videos too, like the vignette style videos, and I'm gonna play a couple of those. But like, welcome to the show, man. Like I said, I'm always interested in when people decide to do stand-up comedy, because I had a cousin one time who decided he was gonna do it. And ironically, shout out to T Brad, your cousin who was with me. We actually went around to some comedy clubs and whatnot and checked some people out, and I think at one point T Brad was actually even considering doing it. Like, so we was like, okay, with shit, man, because this motherfucker was hilarious too. So, but that's one thing about a black family, right? Like, so if most of us who, black people, it's so many funny people in your family. You got cousins who have you laughing from goddamn, you got that old auntie who funny as hell. You got an uncle who don't get no fuck, who always be, who always gonna say some out of place shit. So that's the dynamic of the black family, man. So I get you when you say you grew up around a bunch of funny people. Plus, growing up in the hood down there, trust me, I already know motherfuckers get it in with the rib joints, right? You gotta have your shit up.
Have you down there wanting to fight people?
I done seen it happen, right? I done seen some cats get mowed down, right? Just, man, you motherfuckers, man, y'all. It's like, man, he gonna cry in the car type shit, man.
Right.
But yeah, man. So no, I mean, I totally get that, and it's your outlet, obviously. So what would be the ultimate goal for you in terms of comedy? Like, what if somebody said, what's the end game for you, and what do you want to accomplish as far as being a comedian?
Man, the only thing I'm really trying to accomplish is to show, you know what I'm saying? Like my kids, well, they not kids no more, but they older. My youngest is 15. And then I want to show him that you don't have to work for nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go be a lawyer or a doctor, so to say. I'm not saying he don't have to, but I said if you got talents, show them, no matter what they are. You know what I'm saying? And as far as that, the reason I'm doing this is because I love doing it, and it's something that I want to make money off of because I'm good at it. Nonetheless, I want to get into the entertainment business, with the whole acting and.
Do you really though? Hollywood ain't looking too fly right now. Like, black people in Hollywood is whole weirdos right now. Look at this Dwayne Wade shit, this Will Smith shit, just all these Hollywood celebrity cats I see is bugging out right now. That on top of the fact that you're hearing this news coming out talking about Whack 100 extorting people, and Nipsey Hussle got a gay sex tape and all. Like, I'm like, this Hollywood shit is too much, man. It's man, too much pork for one fork. You sure you want to get involved in that shit? You like, yeah, that's what I want.
Hey, not nothing like that, man. But I didn't heard some things. I didn't seen some stuff on my own that I was like, nah, that shit can't be real. Because, like I said, I go out to Georgia a lot. I go out to Atlanta a lot and do like stand up comedy too. Um, but yeah, it be some weird shit where you be like, no, that shit don't look right, and I don't know. It be some strange shit that you see with your eyes, but you be like, nah, that ain't right. That ain't right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even you talking about Atlanta, right? And I have to be honest, I've never been to Atlanta. Like, I've been in there. I was flying through there one time. I ain't never kicked it. Like, motherfuckers, I was on Camilton Road with Outkast. I ain't never been. But what I've heard and what I've seen and what I'm like, that's got to be a wild place, especially with the level of homosexuality, and you mix that in with celebrity and money and wealth. That's how you get Hollywood.
Right, right.
Sprinkle gray on it, it was over. So, like, it's like, man, I don't know if being a celebrity, unless you can keep your mind right, man. I don't know. You got a support system that'll keep you grounded.
That's the only thing you can do is just try to keep yourself grounded within that. Because I know you got a lot of, I ain't gonna call people devils, but you got a lot of people that'll try to change you. You know what I mean? Like for instance, not to get off the subject, but like I said, like on Instagram, I'm big on Instagram. So
Right.
with that being said, you would only think that people would get in people DMs and like try to talk to the females and try to fly them out to do different types of things, to try to collab with them. But
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that some shit scared me or I found it out the hard way. But
Uh-oh.
imagine somebody like this like some 100 shit. Like, okay, everybody out there listening and watching this, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You get a lot of weird shit when you doing these videos and shit go viral and people start noticing you more. You get a lot of people that's gonna try to hey, okay, let me fly you out to Atlanta. I'm gonna pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take some pictures of you and stuff. I'm gonna introduce you to all these people.
So is this booty duty? Is they want you to dope date or
Man,
something? I
you
mean,
know what?
like, they trying to turn you out?
The shit turned into a motherfucker start talking to you about, have you ever did threesomes and what would you think about uh it was some weird shit. Like, the shit fucked me up because I'm only thinking like that only happened to females, and the shit happened to me. Like, this dude was quote unquote trying to talk to me, you know what I'm saying? Talking about some things that told me I was handsome.
Oh Lord. Listen, that's what I'm
It
saying.
was
So,
strange. It
well,
was
let me
strange.
ask you
It was
this.
strange.
What would you not do for a big role, right? Like, so if you were on one of these doing a show out of town and one of them Hollywood cats come and say, "Hey, you a comedian?" Yeah. Okay, well, we want you to come in this movie, but you're gonna have to kiss a dude, or you're gonna have to, just to do something compromising that would have you really look like Cats in the Hood, be like, damn, cuz. But it was a million, maybe a chance at the opportunity of a lifetime. You could
Uh,
be on. Do you think you'd do it?
I don't think I'd do it because of my dignity and who my grandmother was and
Okay.
who I was raised around, because you always got to come back home at the end of the day.
Hey, you did. You
That
fucking
money
know it.
ain't that money ain't about that money ain't about shit. I mean, realistically speaking, you can have $1 million, but shit, your life is shit.
Right.
It'd be different.
Yeah, the Hollywood. But you know what? When you with the Hollywood, you don't gotta go. What you coming back for? You Hollywood. You live in a mansion in Hollywood. Like,
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
but look, the point I'm trying to make is at the end of the day, shit. Sometimes that money gonna be gone. It ain't gonna be gone, but you still got your family. Your family
Okay.
always gonna be around.
So would you wear a dress in a role?
No, I
Would you?
would.
Okay, there we go. So, like, and I'm not. That's usually where the controversy is right now with a lot of celebrities, especially black comedians, because they always say for any black comedian to succeed, you got to put the dress on. But then I kind of side eye that because now we know Richard Pryor was bisexual. Like, he had a whole relationship with a dude, right? Like,
Mhm.
so, but it still says something when you see, like, with Tyler Perry. You referenced Tyler Perry, all right?
Right.
And it took me a long time because where I'm from, how I'm built, how I'm wired, we just didn't do that, and that wasn't funny
Mhm.
for a dude to be wearing women's clothes, right?
Right.
But and acting like a female, convincingly like a female. But
Right.
okay, so I grew up in the 90s and I seen Wanda. I thought the shit was funny. You seen Martin, that's funny. Big Mama House, Norbit and the Nutty Professor, it's funny. But then it just got to the point where like, wait a minute, god damn it, hold on. That shit is questionable. We got back to it being sus, and then Tyler Perry comes along. And I just was so dismissive of them at first because I'm like, that's that bullshit.
Yeah.
Of course, my wife watches the Tyler Perry movies. I'm watching with her. I said, oh, some of this shit's funny, right?
Right.
But then like this last one that he did on Netflix, good Netflix and chill night with the wifey, man, cuddled up, and ate good, and the motherfucker feeling good, feeling romanticized.
Right.
And the movie goes off, and this dude goes into this extended Beyonce routine and shit. And I'm sitting there like, wait, what the fuck is that? Like, I was so confused. So I'm just saying, a lot of times when brothers do get that check and they get to Hollywood and they get that opportunity, because you don't ever know when that opportunity's coming back. Like they say, you got to be butt naked in this movie, and you got to, some guy crazy got to happen to you. You gonna turn that down, or you gonna say, nah, I'm finna fucking go for my shit?
Man, hell no. You know what? I was thinking about that too. Like when you said that the whole thing about Tyler Perry is like, I had thought about it one time. I'm like, wait a minute. If this man's supposed to be like, like church going and all this stuff, he got a lot of homosexuality in like most of everything that he does. And what's crazy is that my wife, she was telling me one day, like, what if you had to, like you said, like, what if you had to do a role like that where you had to kiss a guy? Would you do it? And I said,
Right.
I don't think I would. And then she was like, well, that's how you got to make your money. Like, if you want to deal with this person, you know what I'm saying? And she, she be bringing stuff back up to me where you got to sit and think, like, damn, do I really?
Right.
Well,
Right.
because it was a few times where when I was in Atlanta, when I was in Georgia, I was like, you know what? I'm probably just gonna try to sleep outside the fucking Tyler Perry building, down where they got it at downtown.
Right.
And see
That
if
might have
somebody,
worked out for you.
I'm just saying, to go out there like sleep outside and shit, and they'd be like, man, what is you doing here? Like, shit, I'm trying to get a role. You know what I mean? Because you got to do crazy shit in order to get places sometimes.
So check game then. Okay, so Tyler Perry come and he holler at you, man. Come on, you can be in the play with me. You going on the road with me, whatever. Shout out to Kamar Carter, my co-host for Outlaw Radio. What's going on, bro? He said Black Fist. That's right. Power to the people. My sister Antonia Anderson, the proprietor of the Hip Hop 365 Museum, doing big things. Shout out to her. Supporters of the show. But the People's Network, and I meant to tell y'all, I do the Big Black Sports Show on Tuesdays. I do Outlaw Radio on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, I do this, Outlaw Nation, which is just, whatever the fuck it can be. So if you got a topic that you want to talk about, you want to float, put it in the chat room. The phone numbers run across the bottom of the screen, 262-202-5131. It's a Cash App on there too. Man, this shit ain't free. But yeah, man. So I got my boy Trav Too Funny on the show. We just chopping it up about comedy and entertainment. Just in case you just tuning in, because I know all y'all sharing the show. That's all I really ask. Just share the show. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're also on YouTube. We're live on YouTube and Twitter. So subscribe to our YouTube page. It's paltry, I know. I'm living in poverty on YouTube. I need some help. That's why I'm like, man, give me a video, Trav. I'm gonna play another one of your videos. We're gonna play another one. But yeah, man. So we just talking about the links that individuals go to now. And like I say, Will Smith ain't been the same since he kissed the little boy in the movie, but it got him over, right? Like I have like young actors that's coming up because I watch a lot of movies, right? Especially if it's black people in them. Right. So it's a lot of young actors. I'll be like, yeah, man, dude is a good actor, or and then I see, and it'd be a movie, and then this dude is gay in the movie, and oh shit. But he's full gay. Like he go full retard with it. Like his tongue kissing out. Oh shit. Like Michael K. Williams was a hell of an actor. But I can't help but wonder if it kind of tormented him that he always played a gay dude. And I don't know if he really was gay, it wouldn't be no big deal. But for you, and he did like heavy gay role, like so I mean, great actor was Omar from The Wire, but Omar was gay. Right, like a gay dude with a shotgun. So I'm just saying, man, when it comes to playing those roles, sometimes they can consume you. Even the white boy Heath Ledger, who did the Batman joint back in the days, he played the Joker so good, he jokered himself up out of here with a bunch of pills and shit. So
yeah, it seemed like people is going crazy. Like I don't know if they said like the money bring problems or
Yeah,
more
man.
money, more problems.
So if Tyler say come on the road, you jumping in, correct? Or what changed? Because you said you was gonna sleep
It's gonna be
outside.
some. It's gonna be some. We gonna talk about shit first before I even think about doing anything. I'm gonna let them know where I stand if I and if
What
it.
you gonna tell him though? What you gonna say, man, motherfucker? I ain't wearing no dress. He gonna be like, dude,
I'm not
really?
gonna say it like that. I'm gonna just tell them I ain't into the whole, homosexuality thing, man. I
No.
just keep it 100. I will. I'm real blunt when it comes to stuff like that. And if he be like, you know what, you can't do it, then I'm shit. All right, on to the next. So I start my own shit. I'll give me a camera, start shooting my own movie.
You will not be in Medea Goes to Northridge, right? The Milwaukee Medea movie. You will not be in that shit.
No, I won't be in that.
Especially if you tell him that. First of all, you can't tell any entertainment kind of thing you go into. I would advise you not to say nothing about gay people because you will not get in. Like they'd be like, "What? You ain't motherfucker? Why you even apply?" Like, so I think you just got to play, keep it cool and be like, I'm a strong heterosexual male and I'm a traditional guy. Like, you got to kind of put it like that. You can't go in there like, man, I don't play that gay shit. They're not gonna hire you if you go in there like that. All right, let me play another one of these video joints. Check this out, y'all.
Where's her cake? Where the fuck is her cake at?
This is her cake.
That's a fucking cupcake. Where's her cake at? I gave you over $100. Where's her cake? That is a fucking cupcake in a fucking deflated ass fucking balloon.
Man, I went to goddamn Family Dollar, man. The line was too goddamn long, man. So I ended up, this was on sale. Just one goddamn cupcake, it was on sale.
That balloon is deflated. So you bought a deflated balloon, and that balloon was $1. Where the rest of my money at then?
Man, we got a goddamn air pump in the room, man. I can go just pump this motherfucker up and then the goddamn...
So you didn't pump it up before you got in here? You came in here with that raggedy piece of shit in the single cupcake?
Man, I ain't had time to...
Where you get that cupcake from? Who cupcake did you steal? Because they don't sell that. They don't sell just one single ass cupcake like that.
Man, there was a nigga outside selling them, man.
So you gonna give her a cupcake a nigga soul?
I'm just saying, man, the motherfucker, I was riding down the street, the goddamn balloon, it was out the window like this and shit, and the motherfucker was blew up, but then I hit 2 trees, and a motherfucking dog ran up to the car and bit the damn balloon. Can you believe that? Bit the balloon.
Baby girl, do you want that shit?
Come on, man, I even went and got her.
What the fuck is that?
It's a chameleon.
Dude, what? That look like somebody got that shit snatched off their head.
Well, they ain't had no Brazilians left, so I went and got her the chameleon. This just came out.
This shit look like it was in the street.
And I even still got the tag on it.
What is that? Get that shit out of my house.
Man, y'all,
She got bed bugs and shit in it. Get that shit out of my house.
That's some bullshit, man. I try to do for my kids, treat
Don't
them.
give her no hand-me-down raggedy ass shit you done found in the street.
Well, shit, the kids can share the goddamn...
Ain't nobody sharing that shit. Your hungry ass gonna eat it.
All y'all gotta do is...
So, okay, so like that's what I'm saying. Like in these videos, you make yourself. Are you cool with saying, man, I look like a total like I'm done? Like it make you as the goofball. Like, are you cool with that?
You know what? I do in a sense because all it is showing like like how some of these dudes look.
Okay.
Because most of that stuff do go on in homes to where a woman will give a man money and he'll come back with the cheapest shit he can find in order to hold on to that money.
You know what? Ladies, if you got a man who come home with a deflated balloon and a cupcake for your baby birthday, break up with that motherfucker ASAP. Like that's like a what to not do in a relationship type shit, right? Yeah, man. So, but I said that because another video I had seen you put up where you went to the hood and the homies was out, everybody was on the block. It was a summer, man, all just man. And they was just ribbing the shit out of you. And I was like, dude, like there was a whole video. And I'm like, man, now do you think you got to be careful with that caricature? Because people might try to come up to you and test you like, oh, like people say cheating ass the brother, shout out to the brother Myron. Like people say cheating ass Myron. That's what they associate him with. So you think they come up to you and just like, oh, it's sweet. I can just talk to this dude. He's a goofball. Like, what's up, ugly motherfucker? Like, how you deal with that?
Man, shit, you got to deal with it the best way you can. I mean, if you got, well, comedians supposed to have thick skin.
Right.
As long as don't nobody put their hands on you, you know what I'm saying? It's a free zone.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You still gonna get your ass reared back. You know, you gonna get some hot ones. You know what I'm saying? So you better be good. That's all
So,
I'm gonna say.
so you're gonna be quick to let a motherfucker know, hey man, this ain't no motherfucking skit, bro. I'm about to roast your ass, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
That's what I'm saying, man. I like in the hood, man. I've seen some hot days in the summer where cats come and sit on the porch, man, and it's just all day long. Like it never stops. It'd be late at night if you still out there, somebody getting ribbed on and shit. Like motherfuckers still out here ribbing. So yeah,
Uh,
you gotta have thick skin, man. But there's like I said, there's different styles of comedy. I wish you had brought some of your stand up. I should have told you that. So that's on me. I should have said, give me some of the stand up footage.
mhm.
We can put that on here because that shit is funny too, man. But so now you do shows here. What's your schedule like in terms of how you out here?
um, the way I do like my scheduling is if somebody hit me up like, hey man, you want to do a show? Like I said, I get most of my shows out of town because them like I say, Milwaukee is my home, but it seemed like I get more love from people out of town. Like just over the weekend, I did some shows in Detroit. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And that's somebody that hit me up like, hey man, come on, man. I want you to I'm a headline in the show and I want you to be a part of it. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? So that's how I go about doing shows. And then if not, I end up doing like birthday parties that my family got going on or anything within the family. You
So
know,
are you? Oh no, are where you appear at mostly here in the city? Do you got a joint where you go and work your material? Like I can go over here. I know
no,
it's an open mic
no,
or something.
no, we we barely got stuff like that in the city. You know, like a comedy home. We barely got stuff like that. But I think we should have something like that where it's just strictly comedy and not like an open mic. You know what I mean? And then when we do have stuff like that, it's something that somebody that put together. You know,
At one point, there was a lot of those kinds of events around the city. I went to several of them. That's how I used to see T Dot and Gigolo and all these dudes doing stand up because they're used to, but I guess the joints that I was going to, I'm so old and shit, the shit ain't open. Well, you was at the Motown Theater. No, man, I'm talking about like the ARJs and the Onyx back before, people just was continuously getting laid out in front of them. I would think like a Mr. J's, but the city's so goddamn dangerous too. And that's another thing that we have to be aware of here. Like if you want to do the comedy show thing, because like we talk about Chris Rock and Will Smith, you fuck around, come up to Milwaukee and get the ribbon on the motherfucker in the club. That'll be your last goddamn tour. Motherfuckers, you got to be careful. Like motherfucker, it's a roast session. Do you understand that, right? Like so.
right.
Yeah, man. Milwaukee be about that bullshit, man, with any kind of event. So I guess it would be hard to go to some events. But I think you got to go venture out, man, to like the east side. I tell you what, if you look wherever college students hang at, so like down there where Marquette and UWM and all those people, there's always some clubs up in there where you can go and get on the stage and say, man, let me come in here every Tuesday and work my shit out, right? And just go in there and just try material out. And that when I see comedians, they talk about that's how they did this shit. Like I literally just went and started working out material. Next thing I know, I got funnier and funnier. Now I'm getting paid for shows, but but everybody has that. I ain't trying to tell you how to run your business, right? That's just my shit. I'm old and shit. I said, fuck that internet, boy. Get your ass out there. I want to ask you, man, when the last time you seen TNT, man?
I just seen them shit, what, less than 20 minutes ago.
Man, TNT, man. Shout out to TNT, man. You don't know Tony Washington, boy. You don't know entertainment in the city. Listen, I interviewed TNT a couple times, man. He is that's what I'm saying. I know your family. That is one of the funniest dudes I've ever met in my life.
Man.
And the funny thing is, I'll tell you a quick story. We used to be like chilling in the hood, sitting on RD porch, and like that dude would ride up on a bike, right? Like, and we talking about the era when everybody had a fresh whip beating on rims. Everybody got their Sunday best on with, man, this dude ride up on a bike with a do-rag and a t-shirt and some joggers on and rip everybody on the porch.
Right.
then go in the house, come back out, rib everybody again, get on his bike and just pull off. He ribbing all the way off the block, man. That dude is hilarious. And then he had the band, man. And so I used to be at 3041 North, man, and he used to be down there doing shows. that dude, man, he told me he was doing like the splits. He was like doing full splits. And I said, man, how old is you? He said, I'm 60 something. I said, man, what you got to eat to be that healthy? He said, pussy. I
Yeah.
said,
That's you fat bitches. The fat bitches.
like that's the kind of dude he is, man. So shout out to that brother, man, wherever he's at, man.
Oh,
Man,
man.
yeah, man, that dude was hilarious, man. He used to have me cracking up.
That-
So you said your presence, and my presence ain't as strong on Instagram. I feel like Instagram is a little young for me. I haven't really caught the Instagram, yet, because I look at it, to me it just seemed like a bunch of people just flossing. Like it's mostly celebrities showing they shit. Like I'm, on some lavish vacation or something. But I guess there are some creators on there that are funny. But I'm not on there. So how do people get to your Instagram joint?
You talking about how can they find me on Instagram?
Yeah.
Shit, all they gotta do is type in @Trav2Funny. A picture of me gonna pop up, and that's how you get to me. I also got a YouTube. Also,
Okay.
same name, same spelling. But yeah, I think the biggest thing with Instagram is once you get a brand partner, that's when you start making money.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm so old and shit. I'm just like, that's why I'm on Facebook, right? Like, so, but I mean, I'm on YouTube as well and Twitter. But like my daughter teases me about that. I'd be like, well, hit me on you on shit like that. Nobody's on Facebook. So I'm
Right.
like, oh damn. I got 7,000 followers. I'm old, man. It's all good. It's all good. Y'all go check this brother. I'm about to play another one of his videos. We got a little time left with this brother. I want to take up his whole night. Check this out. Check this out. Wait a minute. Let me make sure my video is working because I want to. Don't you start no shit. Still can't see it, huh? My video ain't playing right, man. I'm gonna try to get back to it. I wanted to, that was one of the funnier ones too. That's with you and the brother Myron. I don't know what's going on with my video. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. No, yeah, my video is not functioning correctly right now. So let's see if we can get this. If my connection gets more stable, I'll play it before we go, man. But yeah, man, I want you to know, man, I got a group called the People's News Network. And I put people information up for black people in our community. And I don't usually do comedy, but whatever shows or events or something like that. I know you advertise for your services a lot. I see that. So you can always share that in the group. I think if I haven't added you yet, I'm going to add. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my video, man. It's not doing what it should do. So I don't know. Unfortunately, that's the one I want to see too. But yeah, man. So I've shared a couple of the videos. So yeah, man. You got anything coming up people should know about?
Only thing I really got coming up is I'm going back out to Detroit to Tony Roney's comedy club. Because I was out there almost about a week ago, and I got invited back. So
Okay.
so that was a blessing, man. Because people there thought I was funny enough to come back, and so they're gonna start booking me now. So they're gonna start putting money in my pocket.
Okay.
So that's the whole good thing about comedy is because you never know what happens. You never know what'll happen, man. Like if you're good enough or not, and that's just giving me an extra drive to keep on doing what I'm doing.
Okay. So I see you have your fam. Your fam is part of what you're doing. Your wife and your kids. And I know you had spoke earlier about getting inspiration from the hood or whatnot. Because like I said, we talking about Atkinson, y'all. It's completely bananas from sun up to sundown. But how much of that inspiration you get from being a married man or your own marriage? How much? And does she help you write the skits, or she's just like how y'all conceive it?
The only thing that my wife does is shit. I'm not gonna say she make me do it, but she give me an inspiration because it's like I don't have to talk about it. I could just show it because she know like what goes on in the house and everything. And shit. I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna turn this into a video. Cause I know
Right.
I'm fucking up sometime and shit doing crazy shit like with the kids and everything like that. And you know, I'm that type of father. Like I'm like I always want to joke and have a good time and shit. But I'm still serious with what I do. It's
Right.
just that sometimes you got to bring that love into the family, like whenever like something going on and like, cause marriage it's a big thing. Like I've been with my wife, it's like 16 years. We've been married 9, like almost 10 years.
Okay.
So when you got something like that, it kind of helps the relationship,
Right.
so to say, because y'all, trying to collab with stuff.
Right.
But when I bring her into the thing, she kind of make it funnier because she always yelling at me about something stupid. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, so how much of this is therapeutic for the relationship? Because have you ever like done a skit and maybe she said, you know what? Do I really be doing that like that? And you be like, yeah, what the fuck? Why you think I'm doing this skit? This is you, right? Has that ever happened? Because I know, like, I've been married 20 years and I do my thing in terms of my creative output. My wife does hers, but she got a way, like you said,
mm,
doing like letting me know, like she'll throw a topic out there, what you need to be talking about on your little show, or she'll let me know when I said some shit too wild on the show. Like, yeah, you was
right.
doing a lot last night, Mr. Barnes. Like, oh shit.
Oh
She wouldn't
man.
even say Mr. Barnes. She say Kevin. She says my whole name, right? So I get nervous, like, oh, she called me Kevin. So have y'all ever had that moment where your wife was like, damn, I was pissed off like that at you one day, was I?
Man, you know what? It don't even be the videos. It be when I be on live, when I be like on Instagram live, and I
Okay.
get so many of them fans, and most of my fans is like females.
Uh-oh.
So I could be on live, chopping it up, chatting it up and stuff like that. And then me and my wife, we share our we don't share an Instagram page, but she could see what I do on Instagram. Like she could
Yeah.
peek it on shit. So just imagine you on live and females they wanna be seen. So if they on there shaking their ass or whatnot and doing something crazy, I see her pop in the comments like, damn, oh shit, she on here. Like what
I'm
am I
so glad. Now this is why I'm not on Instagram. I won't be on there no time soon either. I don't need no goddamn problems.
so you know what I'm trying to say is like I can't control what they do. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying? Like people be trying to do shit for clout sometimes. And
Yeah, but my wife is the type to smack me and say, "But you like that shit though," and then you be like, "Yeah, I do kind of like that shit," right? So it's better to just stay away from it for me.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. I mean, now does she have her own page? She ever said, "I'm gonna do my own shit"? Like I don't
Man,
even.
my wife, she does the whole TikTok thing, man. She be on there. I mean, damn. If
I
not
listen.
watching the video, like I'll be having to get up and go to work, man, like early, all through the night. That's all you hear is, what I'm saying, she be on the live, but she don't be showing her face or nothing like that. She be on there talking to people but she don't do the dance. Well, she was doing like, like the TikTok dances and shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I be
yeah,
like, damn, I feel like I be a little too old for that kind of shit sometimes. She told me, she was like, you need to start doing these TikToks with me. And at first I was like, man, I ain't finna be doing no goddamn dancing and shit. But I do the funny shit with her.
right.
I do like the funny stuff, but shit, I don't know about the dancing, man. I don't know nothing about that shit.
I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm too old for TikTok. Right. Like I know. Like imagine how now I'm older than you. So imagine how I feel about TikTok. Like so I'd be like, and I really don't get it. Like a lot of the internet shit I see, I don't get like a lot of the challenges. I'd be like, that's dumb as fuck to me. But I'm an old coot, man. And then some of the shit that I laugh at, you put on some old Bernie Mac and shit, and I'm falling on the floor. Young people might be like, well, that shit's not funny. But to me, it is, right? Like it's like with rap music, like shit my son listen to now. I'd be like, turn that shit off. He's like, what you talking about, dad? He barking on there. And then I put on some shit like some Rakim, and he be like, you like this? This is whack, dude. This dude rap too slow. Like
Right.
you just say Rakim is whack, I'd be ready to whoop his nah. It's just the differences in the generations.
Be the same, Kev. I be the same way with my my boys. They be playing that old shit. They be playing what's the dude name? NLE Chopper and all them. I don't know
So
nothing
many.
about that shit. I know
Man,
about Master P. I know about MCA. I know about what Easy E. I know about Baby Drew, Cuckoo. But I can't get into the new era. You know what I'm saying? With the stealing the kids and all this shit, the stealing and I can't get into it. It's
okay.
hard for me.
Okay. I'm the same way. I'm trying to tell you. I sit up with my son a lot and watch music and watch videos and listen to it with him because I want to know where he at, right? Like I want to know what's popping with him. So I have to be able to speak his language.
Right.
Just like my pops did, because my pops was old school, and then I was bumping the Ghetto Boys, and my pops looking at me like, "What the fuck is you listening to?" So he would sit and have conversations with me about it. Say, how you that's what you think, that's how you feel, or whatever. And I do the same with my son, right? So like a lot of times I'm just like, "Nah, man, I can't take no more. Turn this shit off." But
Exactly.
he put them damn things in his ears and just go in his room and shit. So what?
Shit, no, mine. He starting to rap. Like he
Oh,
like he trying to rap and shit now. I done said like I tell him like, you know what, this ain't nothing but an instant replay for me. I said everything they doing now is the same thing I didn't try to do. You know what I'm saying? Now I see where my mom's was like, because like my mom was a single mom. You know what I'm saying? She raised me by herself. But my father was in and out of my life. But like I said, the hood raised me.
right.
My mom's was there, but the hood raised me. And then, for me to be playing like the loud music, back in the day when you had the speaker like Uncle Terrell, big ass speakers, and we'd be playing that
Oh,
shit all loud. They'd be like, cut that down, cut that down. You'd be like, no, it ain't even that loud. I do that shit to my son now. He be in the room playing his own music. And I'd be like, dog, what the hell is this boy talking about? He here talking about trapping and bass lining and shit. I found out what bass lining was 2 years ago.
wow. Oh man. So now with the Will Smith Chris Rock thing, you see, even now is it open season for comics? You say something, and we alluded to it earlier because it used to be like an unspoken rule. It's a comedy show. Let the motherfucker know. But with the Chris Rock thing, you say the wrong thing. That was a bad joke. I'm coming up on stage. I'm smacking the shit out of you. Are you worried about that, or
No, you know what? I'm not worried about it, so to say. I just feel like I used to look at Will Smith as that dude. I ain't gonna say I lost all respect for him, but it's just something it's different about him now. Like I can't watch him on Fresh Prince no more and all that shit because out of respect for a man, it's like you don't smack no man in the face no matter how mad you get because that's real. I felt when I seen that shit, when I heard about it, and then I watched it, I was just like I felt like I was the one that got slapped. This shit gave me the chills.
Yeah,
What can this man do?
every black person jumped out the window. Yeah, I woulda. It's like motherfucker. Okay, black people always doing that. They
But
always talking about what they would have done.
it's the Oscar, Kev. It's the Oscars though. Like black people really not made for that show. That's why I was like, come on now. It's all black people in the audience. And if you think about it, Will threw everybody off with that shit because we still don't know who won Oscars. It's like they said Samuel L. Jackson won one. They said a lot of strong black actors won a lot of shit, but wasn't nobody thinking about that because they was thinking about that damn slap.
Right. I'm an anti-industry type of individual, so I'd be like, fuck the Oscars anyways. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care who won. Like I feel like black people cow-tied to trying to be accepted by the white establishment too much. So for me, my mother had this thing where when people say you shouldn't hit your kids in the store, or my mother say you fuck up in public, you get fucked up in public. So I don't think that it was a thing where we got to hold back and be on our best behavior because white folks is looking. It ain't that for me. I just thought it was a violation. You're right. To open-handed slap a motherfucker is the ultimate. You might as well spit on them, right? Like it's some certain shit or kick you in the back of the head. That's some super disrespectful. You can kick me in the back of my head. So,
Right.
but yeah, slapping. Yeah, I agree in that regard. But I just don't put the whole because white folks was their thing to it. I'm like fuck them because they do fucked up shit all the time, and they don't have to apologize to nobody or explain themselves or none of that shit. So I'd be like that. White people don't get to criticize shit for black
Mm-hmm.
people with me. I always be like, shut your ass up. Don't nobody care what you think. Right. But I get you.
Right. So let me ask you a question though. How do you feel about like culture right now? Because like we used to wear the whole like baggy clothes and stuff like that, but everybody now is wearing like skinny jeans and like real tight shirts and like stuff like that. And I don't like everything is fitted. Even I seen it like with the basketball teams now, like high school basketball teams. They wearing their shorts up really, really high now. We used to wear our shorts baggy.
Right.
That's why I say it's like a culture shift. Like everything is like happening all over again. That's how I feel. Like everything, like I think differently from everybody. When I'm by myself, I think about like different shit. Like it seemed like we going back to like the 70s and the 60s, the 80s, because back then, like the basketball shorts was higher. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't wearing like, you know what I'm saying? They was wearing the afros and stuff like that. That's what these young kids doing now. We done went from wearing braids because of Allen Iverson and the baggy stuff. Now everybody doing John Stockton, Karl Malone shit with the little ass shorts. And like it's a culture shift. You
Yeah, no,
got
I mean, the youth inherit the revolution, definitely. I mean, yeah, but fashion, fashion trends come and go. They always have, and you're right. It goes in cycles because if 1 minute is tight pants, the next minute is baggy pants, then it's tight pants, then it's baggy pants. It's tight, then it's loose. It's tight, and it's this fabric over that fabric, right? So yeah, I don't. As far as culture goes, I think that's different from fashion. So
right,
like when we talk about culture, I'm talking about things other than just how people dress. But I think to be honest with you, because the fashion industry is dominated by gay dudes and gay designers, most of the clothes that they design are for gay men. So a lot of straight dudes are wearing this shit because they saying it's high fashion though, right? So they wearing this shit and not understanding who the fuck really designed them little ass jeans they got on. I mean, I feel like this too. As a big man and as an old dude, like skinny jeans are my enemy, right? Um, but also the way I came up in the 90s where we wore our shit baggy and loose, that's a little bit much nowadays too. So it's a
right.
moderation in between. If I ain't got on some crispy ass khakis or something like that, some jeans. My wife is like, look, at least get them straight cut. I don't really need for you to have your pants sagging at 46.
Right.
So I can't wear the skinnies. But my son still he be looking like he got a camel toe sometimes. Like it's like, bro,
Man,
what are
man,
you doing?
and they be doing that to show off their belts and stuff like that. But I figured it out, man. They watching these rappers. They looking at these
Yeah,
rappers and they seeing they wearing these tight ass clothes and
no doubt, no doubt. No.
fucking the damn shirts that look like dresses and shit. I'm like, no, you man, what do y'all know that they trying to get y'all?
But I caution people. No matter how old you are, don't you be judging these young people. God damn it.
Right,
Because don't have me show some of them fits motherfuckers wore in the 70s. You'd be like, what? What the fuck? Nigga, what the fuck do you got on?
right.
80s. Motherfuckers used to thug ass dudes dressing like Michael Jackson. Why you got glitter socks on, bruh? Like, you know what I mean? Like in the 90s, I remember I seen a picture of myself from the 90s where I had a box and I had a hoop earring in my ear. And I just looking like I probably thought that day I was tight because I just came from the barbershop and all this. I'm like, I look like an absolute fucking idiot. So we got to be careful how we criticize them. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so I just say, but I tell my son, listen, let's err on the side of caution. Sometimes my wife and I have to say, no, you can't. Them too tight. And he'd be like, what? He's like, nah, no, you ain't you
Mhm.
ain't wearing them. You ain't wearing them with us. So yeah, I had to step in every now and then. But I respect these young people right to be out here. I just do believe young people now are more heavily influenced by the LBGTQP kind of agenda. It's no fault of their own. It's in everything they do. Every TV show, every song, every message gives them a message of tolerance. So everything is way more gay friendly nowadays. I'm not saying young brothers is all gay. I'm saying they in their movements, it's like, it's a lot of gay shit going on. So I don't want to go too far. Motherfuckers gonna be mad at me. We get in trouble all the time talking about gay people on Outlaw Radio, but
Right. Hey, look, they gonna have us viral and shit on YouTube.
no, 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 no. Certain shit your boy won't do, man. That's the good thing about being old, man. When you
Yeah,
get old, you get to the point where you ain't gotta do shit you don't want to do, right? So I ain't gotta do no, the motherfucker can't make me. I'll kind of cancel you. I don't give a fuck if you like none of that shit matters to me, right? When you old, because like we was talking about the Oscars and all that, I don't even watch award shows,
right.
right? Like so, and because it pisses me off that even when you have a black one, the major black celebrities don't come to the shit, but they want to rush and go to the Oscars. The motherfucker got goddamn Lucy Boudreaux accepting his award at the BET Awards because his ass, I'm over in France and at Cannes Film Festival.
Right.
It is fake, man. But I hope you get there one day. I hope you get there one day, man.
Oh, yeah, I know I'm gonna make it. Shit, man. I got something that's gonna go on right now so big that don't nobody know it's about to happen for me. You know, I'm just staying humble. You know, I'm gonna keep you up to date though, man, because you know, like what you doing, it's a real good thing, man. Like I knew that you were doing this, but I didn't know that you was like, you know, doing it. You know, like with the whole live and everything now, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit, that's dope as hell. You know, it's good exposure too at the same time. But then it's better for me because you know we technically like family, and this just like
Right.
we sitting in the hood talking because you know we know the same people. Like shit, I've been around you since I was a kid. I'm 39 now.
Right.
You know, so like it's a lot of love. Like,
oh man,
what
come
you
on.
doing right now, man?
I know, and I know it's funny just because I know, like that's why I see Ronnie like this motherfucker. Don't holler at me on the internet. He come call me on the phone. What's that like? Cam, for real? I'm telling you, it's been so long since I've been in the hood, bro. Like I'm telling you, and it's funny, Milwaukee, the way Milwaukee is set up and the way our neighborhood is set up, because like my wife, she's from Minneapolis, right? So like when over there, everything's spread out. You got to jump on the expressway to go here, there, whatever. You know, but here your neighborhood is your neighborhood. So like where we live at now, people say, well, yeah, man, I heard you move way out on Capitol or something. And she be like, why they keep saying way out on Capitol? It's literally like 15 minutes from where we were. I'm like, because to us back in the day, this was way out there and shit. So, you know, not that I live in the burbs like, you know, Prince of Bel-Air, but we just, you know, my wife is not a hood type sister. She don't want to live in crime. We getting the fuck up out of here. I don't do this.
Right.
So, and you know, I done raised my kids out here, man. So, like I said, I got my babies. When I left the hood, I think my son was 3 and my daughter was 7. And my daughter's now 19. She's about to be 20. She's a sophomore in college. My son's a sophomore in high school. So he's 15. So, but yeah, man, it was good to see them dudes, man. It brought back a lot of memories because I remember whenever that sun come out like this in the early spring, everybody hitting. You know where we going, right? You already know where we going. We going right on 19th, or you going on the one way or something. And
yeah.
You gonna find your spot, and then when it get dark, we going to J&J's, right? Like so,
right.
Yeah. So
or
yeah,
or Stewart.
See, I never was a Stewart's dude. Like I seen some wild shit in Stewart's one time. I was like, I'm good. Nah, man. I've been in there, but it was Wild West. I heard it's cleaned up a lot now, but man, I was in there and the motherfucker got mad at his girl and went in the bathroom and like emptied his clip in the ceiling in the bathroom. Man. And it's like one way in and one way out. I said, and he came out with the gun in his hand and like walked out the bar. I said, shit, I'm gonna give him 15 minutes. I'm gonna be right behind him. Getting the fuck up out of here. I never went back since. I got a thing where if I go somewhere and I get shot at, I don't go back there. Right.
Wake up calls. Shit, then wake up calls, man.
I mean, no, man. You know, like I say, last time I was in the hood, man, I just remember laying face down on the homie porch, and it was gunshots, and I was like 42 years old, right? Like I'm like, really? Like I'm too old for this shit. There's some shit that we did when I was like 17 or whatnot. But I'm like, really? I hadn't been down there. I would just pop in and pop out, holler at everybody. I said, nah, man, you want to hang out with me, bro? You got to come out to my shit.
For real.
Cuz came out a couple times. Like, I don't like it all here. All right, well. Right, so, yeah, shout out to the hood, though, man. Shout out to, like I said, the Davis family, man. Much love, man. To Rand, RD, Trina, to Lisa, your mother, Miss Betty, you know, oh, man, Maz, everybody. Like, your whole... Come on, man. Odell, TNT. Like I know I've been around. I've been to some family events. Like I've been there when Miss Betty cooking on the Sundays with the dressing and shit flowing, the meatballs and whatnot, macaroni and cheese. I've been through all
charging us for it. How you gonna charge your own family for a plate?
Hey man. Shit. It is what it is.
My ass about that because I know they probably looking at that shit.
All right. Motherfucker, you will never get a plate again, right? You finna go over there and be the subject of torture. Man, I want to thank you for coming through, man. If you got anything you want to promote, anything you want to push, I wish my video. Let me try my video one more time because this, like I said, man, it's embarrassing for your shit not to work.
Right here.
Okay, here we go.
This car right here. Let me see. Trav in here?
Oh, Trav in here.
Myron, is Trav in here?
Nah, I ain't seen Trav. I ain't talking to Trav all day.
Myron, if you don't tell me the truth, I will get on Facebook and tell them you slept with my cousin and my sister and my auntie and my grandma.
Man, he in the back, man. Get your ass out the car. He in the back seat. I told him to get out the car when I said he coming.
What you doing in here?
Go on, man. She caught. Nigga, get out.
What you doing in here?
Man, I had to do a fucking.
You were supposed to be at home. Where the kids? Where the kids?
What kids?
Man, he lying like
All right.
Man, look, you know what?
You know what?
That's bogus as fuck. Bro.
You know what? Since you want to play that game, give me all my shit back.
What you mean? Give you all your shit back?
Give me all my shit back.
Give her shit back, man.
I ain't got shit to give her.
Hey, look. Hey, look, don't get on Facebook. I'm gonna tell you right now that he called us. He called B. Jones. I was in the car with B. Jones. He told B. Jones he's gonna pick him up. And he said, bring him over here. So one of these, I think it's this house right here. The 58. That's not right there. Right there. He said, you said you had a girl and you wanted to pick up to go buy some Pampers.
Give my shit. Give my shit.
What shit?
Give my shirt, shorts, hair
You
ties,
said you bought that shit.
phone.
Man, you for real? Give it to her.
Yeah.
She can
You
tell
bogus as fucking snitching, man.
you bogus for snitching. It don't matter, man. You want me to get caught? Nigga, somebody got to get caught. I ain't finna get caught. She talking about she finna on Facebook and tell her I fucked my whole family. Nigga, I ain't fuck that. He caught. Nigga, it don't matter, man. Hey,
You know,
They lying, man.
I even want my face back. Give me my fucking face back.
You gonna take your fucking face off my body too?
My name too, shit.
Oh,
Give me
that
that too.
shit. Take them little ass dreads.
Feel like a dyke you doing with it. Someone's
Man, don't leave this nigga on his own. Where you going?
Y'all gonna leave, bro. Y'all gonna leave.
No, now your ass gonna walk. Now you gonna walk. Walk. You better run.
That is that stupid shit right there, right? That's that. What's the brother Myron? What's Myron's last name? I always forget.
Myron Jewell.
Myron Jewell. There we go. And then the other brother who's this dude walked along. He said, "Where the fuck is you going?" He had to.
Yeah.
Oh man! Shout out to Joey Phillips, man, my brother from the hood, man. Another one of my big brothers. He said, "Yes, this show is a blessing, absolutely, especially for me." But yeah, man, I've been doing this a long time, man, about 7 years, and a lot of people don't know. Say why you do it. Actually, and I'm finna go ahead and toot myself my own horn. I actually have a bachelor's degree in radio and television. So my first college degree, or my second college degree, because I have several. My second one was in radio and television. So I did. I got the bug for doing internet radio back in the days. I had a popping ass show. We used to just go wild the fuck out in the studio, and the white people where I was at in a little town were just in love with the shit. Like, and so they used to be like, make me a tape. And I didn't have to do no coon shit, no nigga jokes. And then we just used to just bug out, right?
Right.
A lot of marijuana and liquor involved too. But, they didn't know that. And so I actually would play rap music, rap songs, and then I would play the song that the sample came from. So I was doing that shit. I ain't saying 98.3, I had kind of, brought that in. That was a long time ago. But yeah, man. Shit, man. So I just been doing this. And I really, it's just a passion for me. Like people be like, that's why I see somebody like you trying to do something creative as a creative outlet, or and I big up it. I say, man, no, get that brother support, get that sister support, whoever has a dream, something they want to do, man, do it. Like, don't let nobody tell you not to do it, because the one pitch you will never hit is the one you never swing at.
Right.
So that's why you got to swing at them motherfuckers, man.
Right.
So I wanna thank you for coming, man. Another brother on something positive, because you could be somewhere sticking a gun in somebody's goddamn rib cage. And we know the hood is tough, man. There's a lot of problems over there, and a lot of violence and shit. The cycle of craziness. Atkinson has always. I keep telling people this. Ever since I've known, Atkinson has always been Atkinson, right? So making up out that motherfucker, you are a tough. You a real dude, right? Like, so, and I give people that respect, man. So shout out to you, man. Once again, tell the people how they can get on your line.
Yeah, man. All you can do is hit me up on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? That Trav 2 Funny. Subscribe to my YouTube. The same thing. Trav, the number 2 Funny. You can also hit me up on Facebook, which is my wife's Facebook, but we share it. That's where I put some of my videos at, and that's Sent and Trav Foster.
Okay.
That's our Facebook page.
That's what's up. And I'm friends with you, so I can share your whatever you got posted. I can share that shit. So we'll work it like that. It's always love and support for the neighborhood. So once again, man, now if somebody want to book you for something, they can hit you up too. Like you said, you do all kinds of whatever it is and name your price, right? So that's all the same information if they want to book you.
For sure.
Okay. Man, once again, thank you for coming, my brother. All right. Outlaw Nation on a Thursday night. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the bullshit. Right, second half of the show. This is where I talk about the bullshit. Right, it's good to see Kevin be on the bullshit too. Sometimes I'm so serious. Right, on Mondays with Outlaw Radio and Wednesdays with Outlaw Radio, we always serious. Right, like so, it's cool for me to get some shit off my chest on Thursday nights. Once again, I'm a big YouTube dude, so I'm looking at all of the beef that's going on. Grown ass 50-year-old men with YouTube beefs and shit. But it's entertaining. I ain't gonna lie. I'm watching the shit. I'm watching the Whack 100 shit. I'm watching the Hassan Campbell shit, right? Like I'm on YouTube more than I'm on regular television. So I'm looking at this shit now. You know, all kinds of things fall out. There's a fallout behind who Whack 100 was dissing and who he wasn't. Now this could have possibly some larger ramifications because there is Crips and Bloods involved. If it's some real Crips and Bloods out there, you know, I don't know what to say. Well, Kev, this ain't really us. If you hear us, if you can hear that, call in, let me know. Let me put this brother. Shout out to Trav Too Funny. The fan page is Trav Too Funny on Facebook. Cynthia Trav Foster is the Facebook joint. So if you want to book that brother, you know, get some more videos or whatever, or you just want to collaborate with him, hit him up, man. But yeah, man, Outlaw Nation, we're gonna talk some shit before I get out of here. I got some time left. I don't think this thing gonna run out of gas, right? We hoping it don't run out of gas. What's the big news? Mike Tyson. Goddamn, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson and haul off and whip somebody ass on an airplane. I don't know if y'all seen the footage. It's in the People's News Network as usual. White boy on the plane. I don't know if this white boy was high or drunk or whatever the fuck his issue was, but he was, you know, it's just crazy shit that you should know better than doing, right? And not that I'm scared of no man, like because he's Tyson, I'm living in fear of him, but just out of respect for other people, right? Why would you antagonize Mike Tyson? I know some people say, well, if he hit me, I'll sue, right? Like whatever. If he hits you and you survive, I mean, you don't know if a motherfucker gonna snap out and just kill your ass, and you just be that one that he killed. Not that, and thank God that didn't happen, but he beat the hell out of him. And this dude was bloody. And then he's looking like, what'd I do? When will people learn? Leave motherfuckers alone. Just because somebody's a celebrity doesn't give you the right to harass that individual, doesn't give you a right to come call them. I'm gonna come to your show and I'm gonna walk up on the stage and slap you, right? Bad example, right? Will Smith type shit. But I'm saying, like, man, they done fucked with Mike for the, you know, and I've been seeing Mike Tyson on podcasts and talk shows and all kinds of shit for a long time. And I've been saying, damn, I hope Mike don't fuck around snap on one of these joints. And just on the airplane, man, it's all over TMZ, man. Mike done knotted this white boy up. And he it's funny because Mike was over the seat handing him an ass whooping. So I guess dude got off lucky. Luckily, they wasn't standing, you know, toe to toe, so Mike could focus all his power, man. But yeah, man, I hope Mike don't go to the penitentiary, man. They say Mike was really getting paid off of has really been making a lot of money off the cannabis and whatnot, man. I always want black people to win, right? So when I see another brother in duress, I feel for him. But you know, motherfucker, you got to be careful, man. There's boundaries in this world, right? You can't just run up on people just because they're a celebrity or because you know them. You know, you gotta have rules, man. There's rules to this shit. So, but Mike Tyson lumped him up though. Let me know if y'all seen that video, man. I could have brought that video. I didn't even upload it. I should have. It's funny as hell because you just see this white boy antagonizing Mike for a long time, and Mike is kind of saying like, "Okay, man, you know that's enough. Chill." And then finally in the next footage, you just see Mike over the seat like, so. So, and everybody like, well, hold on, Mike, hold on. So, yeah, man, check that video out. It's in the People's News Network. That is the sister group to what I do here on Outlaw Nation and Outlaw Radio. Rock with me on Tuesdays for the Big Black Sports Show. Myself and my brother Larry Perdue, we host the Big Black Sports Show. Still working through some audio issues, but it's still great. Still a great show, great conversation. Black people love sports. Black men love to talk about sports, so we can support our own platforms in that regard. So yeah, and I see other sports shows popping up around the city. Now I see, you know, it's all good. It's all good. All like I said, I'm not a hater. I support anybody who's doing, anything similar to this. Whatever you're doing, and if it's creative, it's your outlet. It's your platform. I'm all for it. Do that shit. Even if I don't always agree with what you say, right? I don't, because I don't say things for everybody to agree with. My dad used to always tell me that if everybody in the room likes you, you in the wrong room, right? Like so. I guess that's that's how an asshole perspective. But man, did y'all see this footage of these cops in Syracuse, New York, arresting or just kind of accosting this little 10-year-old brother because I guess he had stolen some chips. People are upset about it. And I want to know how you all feel about it. It's disturbing for me, that it's come down to we really people really believe that that's the only way you could teach a young black male something. That's why I always had a problem with the whole scared straight thing is like, okay, we're going to take you to a prison and where they actually can't do anything to you. And we're going to let them talk shit to you. And, hopefully that'll teach you a lesson. I think it more antagonized the kids than anything. I think some of those, when I watch some of those videos, and I've been actually participated in some of this live, the kids seem like they may be traumatized by the experience. I went in the jail and I was a little kid, and these big ass convicts got to screaming on me like they was crazy. Kids could be traumatized by that, so I never thought it was effective. I always thought it was a stupid way to say we're going to teach kids. So we have to break away from the narrative that the only way you can teach your brother something is to kick his ass or lock him up. Like that's how, and that's why I question even myself as a parent. But I didn't really physically whoop my kids a lot. There's been some times when somebody got their ass tapped with a belt before. My wife actually whooped more ass than I did because I just felt like, our parents whooped us, and I had Southern parents. And it's not a knock on my parents because they did the best they could, but they whooped our ass. Like you had to lay down and they got a belt or extension cord or, people talk about picking switches. That's some shit that comes straight out of the Jim Crow South. That is some slavery type, post-slavery type shit. And where did they learn that from? They learned that from their parents who usually beat them worse. And if you talk about how far you go back, you get into great-great-grandparents, we talking about people who were actually slaves. So it's kind of passed down that this is how you teach. This is how you teach a kid to behave. This is how you teach a boy to be, become a man and grow up. I'm gonna whoop your ass, right? Like, so I just feel like we got to invest. We need to take control of that so we can invest in making sure we get taught the right way, right? Because there is a way to teach, and there is room for ass whoopings. If you have a defiant child and you have done your best to create structure and consistency for that child, and they are acting out and being disrespectful or just getting out of line after too many warnings, because after so many warnings, it becomes a point of I'm being defiant. Not that I don't know, because 2-3-year-old don't really know they mess up. You can't you whooping on a 2-3-year-old. What kind of motherfucker is you? But 12, 13, motherfucker know better. I just told you this. So sometimes it might be, and those are really the last windows where you can really whoop their ass, because once they get about 16, 17, it's like, damn, he's 17, you whooping his ass with a belt. Unless she was my mother, right? Moms didn't play no games. So yeah, man. Because we've been talking the parenting thing was a big topic this week with the whole Dwayne Wade thing. Yeah, several different conversations about it. There's some video, and I meant to share it. I think I forgot because I was getting ready for a show. There's some footage where Dwayne Wade is saying, because I haven't really heard him speak on this whole deal with his son, because I haven't really gave a fuck, to a certain degree. But I heard him speak, and he was talking about when he was a youngster, he used to wear dresses and skirts and heels and that kind of thing. And at first I kind of said, well, but I guess not having the right people around you can kind of fuck you up too, because when my mom would think it was funny and put a wig and a purse on me when I was little, just trying to be funny, making a joke, my dad would get pissed off. Take that shit off of him. Don't let me see you wearing it. And don't you let nobody put that shit on you. So, that was corrected early for me. And I didn't really have a desire after that to say, hey, I'd like to play dress up. Because if that's the case with your child, then we got to really figure this out. I got to do a deep dive as a dad to figure out what's going on there. I don't know that I'm ready to jump in yet and start, calling he or she. Because especially, if I'm standing there when you're born, like I was with both of mine, I know for a fact he is not a she and she is not a he. I know, right? I changed her diaper. I never changed my daughter's diaper. I changed my son's diaper. But I felt like even when I never bathed my daughter, I told my wife, no man should be touching her or nothing like that. Was just me. People say you crazy. My wife used to say I was crazy. You better change the goddamn diaper. Why I always got to do shit? But yeah, so man, we've been talking about parenting, and I don't think anybody has the 100% most effective way to be a parent. I think you do the best you can. But there's some shit that you can cut out. That you can, people say spare the rod, spoil the child, spare the bullshit, and strengthen the child, right? Like let's start believing in that. Let's start talking about that. But yeah, man, the cops period. It's a lot of cop shit going on right now. And it's always like a season for the shit, right? Like and it starts usually in the early spring where there's like a killing. And we've seen this in Grand Rapids, and we've seen, different instances where cops have over the years still killed people unjustifiably. And especially in a town like Minneapolis where they had the no knock warrant and they went in there and the brother, I'm laying on the couch sleep, right? I got a pistol. I'm laying there asleep. Somebody literally busted my house early in the morning. I think I should probably wake up startled and like wave the pistol around or something, right? I mean, he gets murdered, right? Like, there's still been a lot of cases of police murders in this country. So the need for reform is there. I keep seeing articles that say the whole defund the police movement is the reason why crime is elevated in a lot of places. And I just wholeheartedly disagree with that because especially in a city like Milwaukee, I don't know that we've had really any pronounced agenda to reduce law enforcement budgets. I haven't seen, and I try to keep my head on my ear to the street. I haven't seen any movement where they said we're cutting your funding. Matter of fact, there was resolutions passed here to add police because they lost police through what I call attrition, in which police retired or quit and then did something else. So I haven't seen any place. My thing is this: if you were a cop right now and you're saying I'm not going to do my job because there are certain people who feel like there should be a defund the police movement, you shouldn't be a cop, right? You should not be a cop if that's the way you feel. And I don't like to use the term good cop, bad cop, right? But the reality of it is it's bad everywhere. I still got packages. I have mail that people tell me they sent to me. I never got. So I know it's a bad post office worker somewhere. I don't know how many times I done went to a restaurant and fucked my order up. So we know we know there's bad employees there. And all around, look at our elected officials. Got fucked up people all the time with jobs, right? So, and I think with cops, it's the same thing. There are some cops who want to be out there for the purpose of being law enforcement officers, and they're really gung ho about doing their duty. And then there's some who just really ridiculously abuse their privileges, and they exploit the fact that they have qualified immunity. So I think they come in both forms, and it's weeding out the bad ones and really strengthening the training. It's too many times cops have said, "It's a black dude. I fear for my life, so I thought I grabbed my taser, but I grabbed my Glock." I don't have a taser, but I have a Glock, and I don't think they feel anything similar. I don't think they feel the tasers that I have seen or held that they're not even similar to how my Glock handle feels. So I'm just saying, like, there's a training issue. And if black people scared the bejesus out of you, we got an issue there as well. Right. Like, so that's something that if you can't, you should be like tested somehow, some way. It can't just be because it's black people where you're just horrified. And I fear for my life. And we continuously let these individuals off. I see footage all the time where some crazy white dude is holding a knife or holding somebody hostage, or he's running butt naked with it, and this dude is subdued with no further harm and this kind of thing. And then I see Philando Castile sitting in the car getting murdered in front of his 6-year-old daughter, and that happens more often than people would like to talk about. So definitely got to pay attention to that. I am also one who has been very, very optimistic and happy about Milwaukee being a city that is governed by black people, because it's, or at least having a very important role in how we're governed. And so, we got a black mayor and we got a black county executive and we got all these black elected officials. And I was saying, let's put our personal feelings to the side about how we feel, whatever, and just really be on code with each other and just be black. Now, the problem with that is through some conversations and through me discovering some information, I have reason for concern. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I found out that Chris Abley is the major campaign contributor to the mayor and the county executive. And shout out to DC Crowley, who's a friend of the show. I've known DC a very long time. He's been on here a bunch of times. So it's nothing but love for that brother. But what good does it do us to have black leaders if they are controlled by white benefactors, right? How much will really get done for the people if there's phantom white dudes pulling the strings? It's more of the same, ain't it? Right? There's some of the reservations from the people that I heard in regards to the election of our mayor is that he would be basically a Barrett clone, a Barrett puppet. Now, depending on where you stand at, I didn't think Barrett really did black people in this city any kind of justice as the mayor. I'm not a brother who puts a whole lot of value on, okay, was there a lot of public money, a lot of social services, and a lot of programs, there were some programs started. The problem is most of the time, even when you start a good program in social services, it has a deadline, right? And more often than not, because you learn as you go along. So just when you get to the peak of being able to do what it is that you're doing as a program, sometimes the funding is up and it's not up for renewal. I mean, you may have funding for 10, 12 years, and they may say, well, this grant is no longer here. And they don't transition the idea or the momentum into anything. So people end up basically being what you call all programmed out. Oh, let me guess. It's another program, right? You get a case manager and you got to file on me. I got to call you. I got to check in. Same shit over and over and over. And meanwhile, this person is the commodity, right? So our poverty is a commodity. That shit rhymes, man. I'm tight with that shit. I try. It's Outlaw Nation, man. I do what I can do. But we gotta start asking questions now. Now we have to be skeptical. Now that I know who, the money man, the money controls the show. People always tell me, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Okay. So now we got to be skeptical. Now we got to look and say, what's going on down there? What are they doing? Because in 2 years, we got to make a decision again about who's going to be the mayor. I wasn't mad because the brother won over Peeping Bob Donovan, right? Peeping Tom Bob, as we would call him. Give him two names like them country white dudes. Tom Bob. Peeping Tom Bob. I wasn't mad that he won over dude, because I'm always going to cheer for the black people to win, right? But now that you're in here, my brother, you in your campaign speech stated that in 2 years Milwaukee would be a strong city. I might have to say, for who? Who are you talking to when you said that? And when you say for all of us, for everybody, the precedent shows that usually when somebody say that, black people is last, right? That's what I learned with Obama. Shout out to Obama, right? But he's I'm everybody's president, and black people was last. Shout out to black people who don't agree with me. Yeah, you going to say nothing about Obama? Call in, man. 262-202-5131. It's Outlaw Radio, man. Well, it's not actually Outlaw Radio. It's Outlaw Nation, which I do on a Thursday night. Shout out to Trav Too Funny, who was on here. He was down in the hood on Atkinson, my home turf, one night. And he was down there before the show, and I seen a lot of brothers who I hadn't seen in a while. And it just reminded me how long it's been since I actually been to the hood, man. Not that I'm not, I'm not one of them stuck up dudes like that. I don't even move like that no more. Like I don't hang out like that. I'm old now, so I just be at my crib and shit, chilling, doing what I do. But shout out to the hood, man. Love to the hood, man. Always, man. I cut my teeth over there. It just brought back a lot of memories to see it. What else we got? Talked about the Benzino joint. I want y'all to go check that out. Y'all check out James Cowsey's article about what happened with the Charlie Young murder. I don't know if y'all remember this back in the days when the mob of kids got together and basically beat this grown man to death because he was out of pocket with him, according to the story. And I don't respect his family. If somebody from his family is listening and said that's a lie, read the article, man. It's in the People's News Network. I just, I remember at the time, like there's the way sometimes it seems like there's a dark cloud over the city. Now, I remember during those days, it seemed like there was a dark cloud over the city as well. And then that happened. And it was a black eye for our young black brothers because, a lot of them were moving mob style back in the days, man. And you can look at those kids and say, man, those kids banded together. There was something there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There was a series of events that occurred, whatever this brother, rest in peace, his interactions was with the kids. Some of them are, not what they should have been, allegedly. So, but they ended up beating him to death. And one of the brothers, he got the most time. I think he might have been 15 when it happened. He's done 18 years. He's 30 something years old now. So, just to hear his story when I was kind of going through the article, and James Cowsey's supposed to come on here. Like I talked to him. Shout out to James Cowsey. He writes for the Journal Sentinel. He's supposed to be coming on. So I put the article, and he told me when we spoke that he was working on this kind of prison thing, and he thought that I would enjoy it. And I do. But to hear the story of how this youngster was how hard he had it growing up. Once again, it's no excuse, right? Last night I went on this massive rant because I'm thinking out loud. I'm fed up with the bullshit that happens in our community. Like to me, it's just like the violence and the dysfunction. It's just the rate. Now we talking about babies. We talking about ladies. We talking about elderly people. Like it ain't safe, right? And I don't think, if you had it tough growing up and you went through some tough situations, I don't think that earns you the right to take somebody else's life haphazardly. Once again, I'm not talking about self-defense. I'm not talking about we going at each other and somebody gets killed. I'm talking about just crazy, reckless violence. Right. And you might have grown up in a tough situation and had some tough circumstances, but it doesn't give you the right to jeopardize somebody else's well-being. So if there's people living in the neighborhood just trying to raise their kids and get by, you don't have the right to come through and tear the motherfucker up just because you had it bad growing up. Right. So I'm sick of that kind of shit. And I was asking last night, like, at what point do we get to where we say enough is enough? Right. Like, because it's been the same shit in the black community for a long time. I mean, I know that there's a systematic nature to it. I don't need anybody to remind me of that. I'm fully aware of that. I'm a proud man of color. I say all the time, I take it from the meme when they say being black is dangerous as fuck, but it's lit though. Right. Like I wouldn't take away, being black. I love our community, but I wish certain aspects of our community weren't there, like violence and like over aggressive shit, like the need to just to wild out. I get it. You're frustrated, right? I totally do. I understand it. But we should be striving more to create some equalizers than wilding out on each other. And it's like in the street. I know the funk happens in the street. I get it. I get the whole shit with the whole, young black males territorial trying to piss on the fire hydrant and be the big dog on the block. I get all of that. But at what point do we look and say, man, let's do it a different way, right? Like I like with the Stolies. Like I don't when Kamar says, hey man, let's just make this more punitive and just add more time. Let's start giving mandatory minimums. On one hand, you want to say, nah, man, we can't do that to young black males. But then on the other hand, you say, hell yeah. Because the shit's not stopping and they're not. I don't see people really knowing or doing better, making an effort. I see this brother on I-43 in a high speed trying to run, turns the whip over, jumps out and runs across the expressway. It's a whole child in the car. It's wild for me. Shout out to Earl Henning. He said, you said it, crazy is the reason why they don't really know how to love people. Yeah, I don't love. I got to go back to KRS-One, what love's going to get you, where he talks about love and the word love and how we use the word love, what we actually think we love, right? Motherfucker said, oh, I love her. He said it. I love my car. I love my chain. I love my watch, stuff like that. The love of those things that really can't love you back, right? And it's got to be very difficult to love a whole bunch of shit that don't love you back, right? So I just feel like before, I don't even know if we ready to even say the word love yet, unless you're in church or something, right? And there's a whole other issue with the churches. I just need the connection. I just need the connection religiously to be reestablished with the community. I just feel like there should be way more outreach to the community. I see some prominent churches in some very, very, very underserved communities, right? And the parishioners of the church usually break the speed limit getting up out of there, right? Like whereas back in the days that church serviced that neighborhood on a different level. It was a place where the hungry could eat. It was a place where people who needed support could go to. Some of these places you go there is closed unless it's Sunday. And I don't want to criticize. I ain't that dude. I grew up in the church. My father was a preacher. People say them the worst damn kids, them damn preacher kids, right? I don't know if I disagree with you on that. I don't know if I disagree with you on that. Oh, because we were some bad little motherfuckers. He said, Earl Henning said he loves people because they are people. You know what? I got room for people. I'm not gonna say I love people, right? I do care about people. I have compassion towards people. I love black people. Like I really love black people. Like to me, it's the coolest shit. I don't think anybody has it better than us. And like just how we look, how we walk, I don't think there's anything like us, right? And it's no coincidence that the world has, throughout history, we've been treated and handled a certain way. But I think being black is the flyest shit in the world. And this is why it frustrates me so much to see some of the bullshit that happens in our community. And like we're not really demanding change the way we need to. We'll say it. It'll be a good catchphrase. You might go to a demonstration, but there has to be more we can do. And that's why I always talk about intentional solidarity. That's why I always talk about us being together in public, us standing together saying we can reduce the amount of violence in our community. I don't know that we can do it now without intervention from police, law enforcement agencies. And we know who the powers that be run these places. I don't know that we can say we don't need intervention. We can police ourselves. I don't know that we can do that. If you feel that way, holla at me. Ain't no big deal. We can agree to disagree. You can pop your shit. I can pop mine. It's all good. But if you feel like we need to be policing ourselves, I don't feel like we're in that stage yet. I don't feel like we have that ability yet. I don't feel like we ready for that, so to speak. Earl Henning said back then, I didn't drive Rolls Royces and Bentleys. And you got to catch the bus to church. Okay. I mean, well, yeah, we've moved up a notch economically, whether we want to admit it or not. We moved up, we've taken a step up, but I just feel like the church, because it brings so many people together, it could be something way more powerful if a buy-in was created. I know a lot of black people are resistant to it because they feel like Christianity played a role in keeping us enslaved. And there's a lot of truth to the fact that slave masters and people who were there to manipulate did use the Bible to kind of twist and put, this kind of thing in it. But there's people who do that with every religion, right? There's some fake Muslims out here who use it as an angle. They don't have the integrity of a FOI or NOI or Elijah Muhammad or Minister Farrakhan. They don't have that kind of integrity. They don't run their institutions or organizations like that. There's some who just see it as a quick buck. I mean, look at what happened in the Catholic Church, right? But there's still a lot of Catholics. There's still a lot of white people who are becoming Catholics. There's still a lot of black and Latino people who are Catholic. But with us, we ride hard on pastor got a Cadillac. Pastor, he getting money. Well, he got a flock of 700, 800, 900 people, 1,000 people. I feel like if he's going to do his job, he should be compensated. Now, don't get me wrong. It gets out of control. We know that. But also say he should be judged on what his ministry does. So if you contribute in millions of dollars to the local economy and to the people, then I feel like if you got millions of dollars, I ain't really salty about that, right? You ain't living high off the hog and the people living in shit. So, each one teach one. We got a lot of work to do, man. We got a lot of work to do in our community. We have a lot of conversations that need to be had. That's why I big up everybody who has a platform. If you're out there doing your thing, understand that words is power and power is words, right? And information is the best thing going. So you should invest in that because, like they always say, if you know better, if you knew better, you do better, right? I hate to be cliches. Man, it's the end of the week, man. We're on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Just pick a show, pick one, pick two, go to the YouTube, share the show, hit a like, drop a comment, drop a line, drop a cash app, do something. Let's support each other, man. Because believe me, I mean, people say I'm not giving him no money because he ain't gonna get rich off me. But then you go spend some money at Walmart or you go spend some money at Target or whatever corporate or with iPhone, and you don't never stop to say, they ain't gonna get rich off me. You only say that when it comes to a black person, man. Either you part of the problem or you part of the solution. We all have a role to play, man, and we all can play that. I want to see the black community function like a well-oiled machine again. I want to see us prosper. But it's some bullshit in our community going down. We got to stop making excuses for it. And we got to stop enabling. We got to get to the point where we call a spade, no pun intended. The great Marcus Garvey even stated that some of our people wouldn't be allowed to go on to Africa with the rest of us because we wasn't no good in America, so we ain't gonna be no good in Africa, right? So we got to keep that in mind, man. Be the best you can be, man. Not like the army. Do it for the people, man. Do it for the culture, as they say, man. I appreciate all the support. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'll be back on Monday night unless some crazy shit happened and I decide I need to jump on the air again, which rarely happens, but it could. But if you want to hit us, you want to do something collaborative, you want to get you want to rock with us, come on the show, promote your events, hit us up, man. 262-202-5131. Shout out to Outlaw Radio, man. Shout out to Kamar Carter, Courtney Francois, my boy Rail. Get his book, get the juices, man. Attend those events. Let's support each other, man. Because we all know if your criticism of the community outweigh your contribution, your ass is a goddamn coon. Peace and love, man. I see y'all when I see y'all.